Over the last 4 decades, the microfinance industry has enjoyed global success, helping to empower millions of people through financial inclusion. Despite this progress, many microfinance providers have failed to establish themselves in the Middle East. To find out why, I'm joined by Rupert Scofield, the President and Chief Executive of the Foundation for International Community Assistance, otherwise known as FINCA. Rupert, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, James.
So Rupert, why has the Middle East fallen behind in the microfinance stakes globally?
Well, growth in microfinance, James, has to follow institution building. And essentially, the institutions have not been built and the regulatory environment does not exist. And what I mean by that, if you look at other regions like Africa, the governments there have created ladders for a microfinance organization to go all the way from just being a financial NGO, credit only, to becoming a hybrid deposit-taking MFI, to becoming a commercial bank if they want to follow that route. And that just simply hasn't been done in the Middle East for a variety of reasons. I would say mainly because obviously the Middle East, the big headline is oil, and the economies are built on that, and that has met the needs of many of the constituencies there. And there's not really a culture of small business, supporting small businesses, and banks that do retail business lending simply hasn't been constructed yet.
So in terms of moving forward, what's needed to happen to address this, do you think?
Well, I think, examples abound of benign regulatory environments and really all around the area. There's an excellent microfinance law in Pakistan, for example. Also, Egypt recently passed a microfinance enabling legislation, which is going to be very helpful. But this needs to occur in all the countries. Obstacles like huge minimum capital to create a financial institution, like in Jordan, I think it's over $200 million. In Egypt, it's about $70 million. This is beyond the capacity of most MFIs, even if they have partners investing in them. So there needs to be the creation of these special niche laws or some kind of ladders built for MFIs to progress and develop.
Are these sorts of issues similar to the problems that have been encountered in the Sharia-compliant microfinance space, or are they a different quality of problem?
Well, this is a whole different problem and area, James. And just as an example, when we first went to Afghanistan in 2003, we started working in Herat. And my representative there called me up and said, Rupert, I don't think we can make conventional interest-bearing loans here. I've been talking to the people in the community, and they say we need to consult with the local imams, and we need to get their blessing, basically, on our lending model. And that's what we did, and we created, actually, the first Sharia-compliant loans in Afghanistan, and lots of financial institutions there have followed our example since. Now, one of the big difficulties with creating and offering Sharia-compliant loans, if you're going to do it by the book, so to speak, you're supposed to have a dedicated bank or financial institution that does only that, with its board of directors and all the employees are trained. We can't really operate that way. We can't afford to have two institutions operating in a country. So we have taken a more flexible route where we have trained our staff who work in the traditional areas to offer these products and explain them to the clients. And I have to say it's worked quite well. The clients really like them, they feel comfortable working with them, and it actually is an attraction for recruiting for us.
Now, Rupert, just finally, you've come back to London from Pakistan and also from Georgia. How are things progressing in those countries in terms of the microfinance space?
Well, I hear I will get a big smile on my face because Georgia is an incredibly progressive country. They're doing tremendously well, developing economically. They've had a free election where they passed the baton from one leader and party to another with no problems. And you see the development as a result of that. And in our case, we've grown from a startup in 1998 from just a few clients. We now have over 50,000, and we just got our banking license there. We had a big celebration. And we are really excited about the technology that we're putting in there. We're going to be doing channels and agent banking and mobile banking and so forth. Very exciting. Pakistan is a totally different story, but also a good story. We have now 275,000 clients there in that market. And we've got about 100 branches, and we're growing very fast. And the clients are very satisfied with our products there.
Fantastic. Rupert, thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you, James.